Hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!
Hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Commander Z, we got Demetrius has his television on so we can while while doing the show.
You don't want to miss that news?
I know.
Why are you restricting yourself to the side of the shot?
I'm sure he'll get there.
He's like,
just wanted to pop in and say hello.
Yeah, Chris.
He's like, "Hey, girl."
He's like, he doesn't understand how cameras work. You're center it on, buddy.
We got visited by the elf last night. Joseph's elf. Hold on. So, what woke up to this morning?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to move around like this, like that's gonna matter.
I like how you have the elf mixing beats.
Yes, Holly Z in the morning, right there. Brand new show on the network.
Okay, so if the elf is supposed to be an agent of Santa Claus,
not supposed to be, is, you asshole.
Okay, so is an agent of Santa Claus. Doesn't it reek of a little bit of bias if they are part of the family with the same last name?
No. Does it, Holly Z? She said no. She said it's fine. Look at that face.
Yeah. Miraculously, all the Z children are going to be good boys and girls this year.
Isn't she the cutest?
Yes. It is absolutely amazing how we have to make Christmas so much more complicated. You know what? It wasn't enough trying to find an empty room somewhere to hide all their shit. It wasn't enough. We were like, no, it wasn't. Like, you didn't have to. Like, I just, I'm tired of. I feel like I got so much more energy. After racing to the door to beat my kid to the Amazon box, I feel like I have so much more free time, after hiding things in nooks and crannies to make sure that these ungrateful children won't find them. I feel like, what I need to do? I need to just start putting shit in random rooms and leaving notes and things. That's a good use of my time.
You know what it is? I think they thought we were getting too much sleep, D. That's what it was. Like, you guys have way too much free time. You're getting too much rest at night. We need a reason for you to have to stay awake longer.
And then the stress of parent of us, but usually it's a mother. I mean, let's be honest. But the stress of the parent when they forget to move elf. And then, like, it ruins their day. You're like, wait, we did this to ourselves.
There's no bigger letdown.
I know. If you
know what? It makes what's so bad about it and like horrible about the holidays is that it magnifies like your other spouse's like imperfections, because it's usually just one spouse that focuses on all that shit, right? So they're like putting in all the work, and they like look at the other one and they're like, you ungodly piece of shit, you look at how much more I love my kid than you love your children. And you're like, yes, that's absolutely correct. You do. You love them more. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
I think you may be individualizing relationships right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Another edition of D working out his marital issues on the air.
Go ahead, Donnie.
I'll say he's not wrong. Like, I take it to the point where, like, I'm not going to do it, but I'll make sure that I wake you up to do it.
Because you can't trust me. I'm gonna put that thing in a line full of sugar and surround it with naked Barbies. It's gonna have like its pants halfway down, and you're just gonna, and my kid's gonna stumble upon it, man. It's gonna be just a weird kind of, how'd this happen, Dad? I don't know. He was partying. Yesterday was elf payday. Who knew?
I feel like your elf on a shelf doesn't party near as hard as apparently the new Snoop the new Snoop version on there. I got to share the picture there.
Snoop on the
Where
stoop.
is it?
The Snoop on the stoop.
Oh
feel like-
yeah,
Feel like he parties a little harder
Yeah,
that's amazing.
it is
when he's not
amazing.
when he's not in the kitchen with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
I can smell that picture.
I know you do. Snoop on the stoop. Snoop on the stoop.
Smells like the good.
All right. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Let's see. I don't know if you guys watched yesterday. Live in front of a studio audience, which is a show where they take old shows that Norman Lear did. Who I mean, it's amazing.
These old actors, and we're just supposed to believe that shit. Right.
So, hold on.
Thanks.
You're jumping in. Let's set it up first. Live in front of Norman Lear, who was a genius when it comes to the American sitcom.
Did something happen to him? Is
No,
he no
he's
longer a genius.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he does shows. He's 99.
I was just wondering. I mean, I saw him. I looked at him. Granted, he looked creepy as fuck. He looks like he takes porn pictures. But I'm just saying, he was still alive.
The guy is almost 100. He'll be 100 in July. So he's responsible for The Jeffersons, Maude, Good Times, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Facts of Life, Different Strokes, One Day at a Time.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. These are some of the biggest sitcoms, American sitcoms of our time, of television, period. Some of the biggest ones. So what they do is they'll take shows and they'll take a certain episode from the 80s or whatever, and they'll reenact it with new actors, and they'll do it live in front of the studio audience. Last night they did Facts of Life and Different Strokes, two of my faves. And I don't know, it was a little rough, man. I watched with the kid. I made
a little rough. Are you kidding? A little rough? Oh my god!
Was it not funny or what?
Well, first of all, they take the scripts exact. I think that they should be able to creative license, because like they're doing Paul Newman jokes, and I'm trying to watch with my kids. I get the kids down. I'm like, come on, kids, we're gonna watch this. They're like, I don't want to watch this. This is stupid. I'm like, no, this is like my childhood. We're gonna I forced them to sit down and watch. And so they're sitting down and they're like, there's Paul Newman joke. I was like, oh my God, this isn't funny at all. Like I watched the first 20 minutes and they're like, all they're doing is laughing and clapping at everything that's not funny. And I'm like,
don't you miss the shows where they turned on the applause sign? Don't you miss those? It just takes you back to the time where people were forced to fucking pretend. Remember those days? Remember, you would just sit there and take it. Not anymore.
I love the way Andrew tried to pretend like that was his childhood when it was like he was in his 20s when that show came out. They still had silent film when you were a child. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, here's the thing is that I don't know if have you guys ever been to a live television show? It's. No. You've never been, Donnie? Oh my God, Donnie. First of all, you guys have to go to LA if you've never been during show season, because if you just walk around, they'll recruit you.
Is it between spring and like summer, or because like I miss it in my calendar, like show season.
Yeah, when do they shoot?
Well, I'd have to look it up, but I mean I think they shoot like after the holiday.
Spring?
Yeah, like spring. Yeah, like spring. And so if you go to like Universal Studios or go to different places like for a tour, then they'll recruit you. They'll be like, hey, you want to go to a free show? Or if you go to Hollywood, want to go to a free show? And they'll even get you on a bus and they'll bus you to the show. I haven't been in a long time, but this is the way I used to do it. And they'd bus you to the show and it was fun. And they would tell you, like if you go to Jerry Springer especially, they would tell you how to do it. So when they go boo, they have a guy there going boo, and then the audience will go boo, like they're cueing you the whole time. You're like, none of this is spontaneous.
Right.
They're telling you what to say. So it seemed very forced last night. There was one time that I was at the Jeff Foxworthy show. He had a TV show once, and we went and saw one of the tapings of the show. And I could see a mic because they the microphone the audience. They have microphones hanging down, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a microphone! I could get on the show." So what I did was I made up my own laugh. So I went every time there was something funny.
Yeah.
Like
I used to watch that show. Now I understand why I heard Andrew Z in the morning instead of laughter.
I know it was really weird. So I would go every time it was time to laugh. And I watched the show when it aired because they'll tell you when it's going to air. It's usually a few months later. And I watched it, and I could hear myself. I really could.
That's amazing.
Sounds
Yeah.
Oh my god, you could hear yourself on a show where there was
dude.
a microphone.
No, I thought I've heard all of Andrew's stories, but that's a new one for me, and I love it. I love it. I absolutely like. Oh, there's a mic. Hold on. Her. No. Haha. No. I gotta get something a little bit more distinct.
I wanted to be longer.
No, here I will tell you why I love the studio audience shows though, because even if you're not enjoying the show, at least somebody is, because you can hear them laughing, whether it's fake or not. You're like, oh, I'll just sit here in misery and listen to someone else have fun.
We remember in the old days, we like, I don't know, the shows decided that we need to know when to laugh, so they put these studio audiences. And then my kid, about 20 minutes in, goes, this is so fake. I like the Netflix shows where they don't have to insert laughter. That's what she told me.
She wants the real.
Right, exactly.
I like the argument people make, like whenever somebody criticizes a sitcom and they're like, oh, it's all laugh tracks and everything, and then somebody comes back, no, it's a live audience, completely ignoring the fact that there's a sign telling them, turning on and telling them when to applause and laugh.
I know. But anyway, the show was a little rough, I thought. And then they have these, Facts of Life was based in a school. Like, these kids were going to school, like Tootie and
you take the bed, and there you have the Facts of Life.
Natalie,
and
Blair.
she's so lucky because during their education, they were thrown in the back of a bakery and forced to work shifts. Yes. That's right. Poor Tootie going to boarding school and working at the same time, while Blair didn't do dick.
They played the black woman, of course, the black girl at the time.
Now, is Norman Lear, was he groundbreaking? Were those groundbreaking race-related shows, or was he just the funniest racist of the 70s?
He was the funniest racist of the 70s.
Right? He was like, man, I'm gonna put all these black people being kept down by white folks, and they're like, man, it's the opposite message they keep telling me I'm sending. I'm very upset.
and so these kids they're supposed to be in school, in school, and one of the characters last night, Jennifer Aniston, who's a 50-year-old woman. Jason Bateman, who's a 50-year-old man, and so it was a bit weird to see.
Reach.
It was a reach to see all these people playing these kids in school, 15-year-old kids. They're like, Jennifer playing a 15-year-old. She's 50.
I mean,
well, in the 80s, they did have 30-year-olds playing high school kids. So
that's
right.
That's pretty much the 80s and 90s for you. Every high school show out there, kid would show up. Like, heck, even 8-Bit Christmas, kind of. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It came out. They kind of did an homage to that with the bully that looks way too old to actually be in that class. Like they just kind of did that sort of an homage because it was like it's all flashback to the 80s.
Well, and they did say you need to suspend reality when you watch it because they wanted to get these good actors in there.
Good actors. What? You know what that showed me? That showed me that people are awesome when you give them enough time to practice. That is true of anything. You are good when you're like that. Those live shows suck.
Well, and then I'm wondering why did I think this show was so funny 40 years ago? It was like
it had good actors in it. That's why.
Because you were
good actors.
But the lines weren't funny. I don't know what it was.
Is it because we have more to choose from now? Like, if you grow up eating crappy food and you don't know what it's like to have good food, And then you think the crappy food is really good until you have good food. So was it just lack of we only had like 3 shows to watch or 3 channels to watch.
Right. There was
we ruined our television taste buds by dipping into the huge pool of internet.
Gina,
we drank IPA is what we did.
yeah, exactly. I never thought about that, Gina. You must be right, because you're right. There was only. I do think that now is the golden age of television. They say the golden age was back when when television first started and all the live shows and I don't know, Johnny Carson, all those people. But I think now is because there's so much great content out there that you can get almost anywhere, and then it makes this show just look like, oh God, like they should have taken the liberty to at least punch up the scripts, like either make them a little funnier. Now it's been 40 years, maybe.
Oh, they did, didn't you hear Kevin Hart say, "I don't want that damn soup"? Didn't you hear him ask why burning always smells like weed? Like that was never in a Different Stroke script. Ever. Oh, and it made it so much more funnier. I rolled out of my chair because I had fucking caught a cramp. But anyway.
Well, all I want to do is find it so I can hear how he delivered the what you're talking about, Willis line. And that might have been what the whole show hinged on. What you talking about, Willis?
Anyway, it was a little. I thought it was a little rough. But I mean, at least they gave it a shot. Did anyone watch Annie last week? The live Annie. I mean, I love these live shows. I've been really busy.
I totally did.
Of course, you did.
Yeah, Annie Does Alabama. Was that it? It's some balls in my face for me. It's some balls in my face for me.
Oh my God.
It's my theme song now. Whenever I come on the show, I want that to play as soon as it pops on.
Or is it? It's a hard cock life for us. It's a hard cock life for us.
One. That's it for me.
That's the one.
We just stepped up our edge level.
You get dick every time that I get sick.
No, that's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the month.
Tomorrow, never mind.
I'll blow you tomorrow. You're only a 20 away.
I'm going to be humming that.
20. She thinks she's worth a 20. It makes me fucking mad. A 20. I don't have that money. I'll give it when I see my dad.
What? What?
Okay, that took a weird turn.
People are going to be thinking that I'm humming this musical, and it's just going to be these lyrics in my head all the rest of the month.
All right.
Well, next week, Mary popped in.
Popped in.
Hey, we don't even have to change the title to Bedknob and Broomsticks.
I think I'm going to hold out for Toy Story 5.
Mary popped in. Oh, hello. Did you order a pizza?
A spoonful of... Never mind.
A spoonful of semen helps the medicine out.
Okay.
All right.
I like how Donnie keeps his image clean. Like he comes right up to the line of saying something, and then he's like, "Oh, never mind."
He's like, "I'll let you finish."
It's like a comedy Mad Lib.
There's not going to be a recording of me saying that word. It's just not going to happen.
No, I know. I love it. It's so cute. It's so wholesome. It's so Norman Lear. You go right up the line and then you just stop. It's very Norman Learish. So, paying homage to the king of television, who, yes. I mean, you look at his a lot of mediocre television, I guess.
Like he got his.
There was one time that I made my kids watch. I was like, okay, I want to watch a show that they would love that was back from my day. So last night didn't work, but I remember.
So, Mr. Ed.
I remember a couple of years ago, we decided to
back
go.
when they used to yell out the phone number like, "I need to talk to Klondike 2020."
every
hello,
commercial,
operator. Could you ring 22 force for me? Hold on.
Every commercial break was Lucky Strike, even for children's shows.
Screw you guys.
An Ovaltine.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Oh, thank you, Gina. Thank you.
Ovaltine. So I picked a show that I knew was going to be a home run for the kids. I'm like, this is going to be a home fucking run. And I couldn't find. I searched couldn't find it on television. So then, we have our YouTube hooked up to the television or whatever. So then I had to search YouTube, and I think I had to pay 99 cents or $1.99 for it. But we went to the very first Fantasy Island. I'm like, that was a cool show. When I was a kid, that was a cool effing show. So we go to the pilot, the very first episode of Fantasy. I said, kids, you're going to sit down and you're going to watch Fantasy Island with me. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, they're going to love it. And then we have a whole bunch of seasons, and this is going to be fun. And I swear to God, again, they got through about 20 minutes and then couldn't even And
is that how long an episode is without commercial?
No, it's 40. And I'm like, I thought this was good when I was a kid. Why is it not good right now?
Because they have good stuff and you had crappy stuff. That's
Did you try Elf? Did you try Elf yet?
No, my whole childhood was a lie. Elf.
Elf was a good one, maybe.
Have you guys seen the movie Fantasy Island version now that came out a couple years ago?
No.
It was okay.
Well, and they've redone it too, like for television. But it just really now that Gina has said that our TV was just shitty, we just didn't have enough of it. Then I'm like, oh man, this is just my whole childhood is.
I did that with one series for the girls that because my kids really like musicals.
Yes.
And so when I was little, there was a series called Rags to Riches. It was like a short one. It was only like a couple seasons.
Yes, with the girl Tisha Campbell.
Tisha Campbell, yep.
Yes, and nobody thought it was weird that a single man took in all these foster kids.
It was very
all
much
these
like
foster
Annie.
Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I remember that.
D, don't ruin it. So don't make it creepy. So
it was creepy. I didn't make it creepy. It was
so
creepy
anyways,
when they aired it.
I bought the series and we watched it and my kids loved it. So that one worked.
Oh, all right. Well, that was good. Well, I don't know. I guess but like Love Boat would be another good one, I guess. Or
I think you're going back too far.
Really?
You're going
don't
back
go
too far.
To your childhood. Go back to my childhood.
Like maybe Friends. Friends would they like Friends?
I didn't think Friends was funny when it was happening.
You gotta be like 30 to watch Friends.
Stop. Honestly, just stop trying to make your kids connect to the things that made you love things, because kids ruin that. Kids ruin your childhood memories by pointing out how stupid what you loved is.
I know.
And why would you subject yourself to that? I turn off things I love when my family walks in the door. You know why? Because they ruin things that I love. Honestly. True. So why would I subject myself to that? I'm not going to let you tell me how hot dogs are made when I love hot dogs. You can just shut the fuck up and hand me a bun.
Wow. Again, there you go. I love it.
Well, so I kind of miss our parents on this, because our parents unashamedly just blasted the music that they loved. I can't say the word. I don't know why. Unashamed, whatever. Unabashedly just played the music they loved at full blast, and you tried to say something, they said, fuck you, kid, go away. They watched the shows they liked, they did the stuff that they liked, and every time we tried to say anything about it, they were like, well, you're a child, what do you know? And they just dismissed you. That's why I miss that style of parenting.
I know, right? I don't care what
new like. Not this new inclusive, everybody gets an opinion and we'll adjust things for you parenting.
Right.
Oh my God, get off your lawn.
Yeah,
you guys are making fun of me being old or whatever, which I mean, you guys are all very close to my age. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but I was watching
we're close to your Cedar Point age, which is not your real age.
Yeah. Okay, your Cedar Point, these are professionals, they get paid to do this job. Your age is what you look.
And who's that? And who's the health department that called you for your senior booster?
And it's the age that you identify as. Which is...
Thank you, Donnie. I love Donnie.
Yep, that's why I continue to go to the 8th grade.
So George Clooney, like I was looking at celebrities with big age gaps. George Clooney and Amal Clooney. George is 52. She's 35. That's a 17-year age gap.
Yeah, but see, I don't think that counts. Like, see, she's like, what'd you say, 32?
Yeah, let me look.
Okay.
No,
but
she's 35.
Okay, so she's 35, but she's also an international law attorney.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you pick a gig, like it makes you closer intellectually to whomever you're with. Like if you were like, hey, she's 38 and the shift manager of Wendy's, then I'm assuming there's a shit ton of fights in that house when he comes home and she doesn't understand a lot of stuff that he's going through. But if he comes home and his wife, international attorney Amal, says, hey, baby, what's going on? And he breaks it down. She's like, you know what? I've done enough reading and been around the world to understand the stressors that you're going through. Why don't you sit down and let me massage your thigh and calm you down? And you're like, wow, I love this shit. You don't smell like grease. This is the best shit I've ever had. The last girl I was with, all she did was look at me like, huh? Who put fucking peanut butter on the top of my mouth?
What?
Hey, there's a lot of nuances to a Wendy's shift manager, especially in a work shortage that we have right now. So I put her up there with them all.
Yes,
they're like
a lot of
right.
You have to manage a lot of stuff.
Just because you make a cappuccino don't make you international.
Oh, and the worst thing they did you see what they've done to these Wendy's employees?
No.
They put out this guarantee that your fries are crispy or you get them free or they remake them. So now you've got
extra prep.
Not only are you short-handed, but you got everybody coming back eating half their fries and coming back saying that they're not crispy. Actually, well, yeah, because I gave them to you 15 minutes ago, and now they got to give them free fries. So I don't know what they're doing to these people.
And how do they verify that? Do they have to like try one to be like, they're not crispy? Oh, here, let me try one. Oh, that seems crispy enough.
That'd be great.
Like, how do you verify? Are you just taking the customer's word?
That'd be great if they just reach in your bag and pull one of your fries. Hey.
Standard practice. Every single bag, you have to be like on the way you handle. Like, hold on, okay, you're good.
You're good.
Guys, here's the secret to that.
They got a retired fireman off duty checking the crispiness.
No, they're you can't go in, right? At least after whatever time they close super early. So they keep their drive-through lines like an hour long, so that way you don't come back through to get more fries. You're just like, fuck it, I'll just eat these non-crispy fries because I am not waiting in that line to get fresh fries.
Here's the problem.
Not a bad idea.
When you promote, all your commercials are how fresh your fries are, and that you're gonna, you have a fry guarantee. You better fucking be guaranteed that the fries are fresh, because now you put focus on them. And I don't go to Wendy's that often, but I went a couple weeks ago, and I was expecting fresh hot fries because that's all I've been hearing about, and the fries were limp and cold, and I'm like,
really?
Yes.
What they need.
I feel like that's how Colleen felt with you.
Scandal.
What they need to do is they need to have an employee that they pay a decent wage, not like the kid they're paying $9.50 an hour to be there and do 50 other things. They just need a single employee. That's all they do. They're the fries are, and they get paid $20 an hour. And that is their entire job.
The fry.
How about you stop trying to chase the fry game? Stop trying to chase the fry game. You guys make good burgers. How about we focus on the things that are awesome, and we just their burgers are amazing. They get a little heavy-handed with the ketchup, and the onions are a little lazy. But other than that, it tastes great. So why don't we just go, you know what? Fuck a carb.
Of course they're square.
We give you good ass fuck protein. Like not protein. So let me just tell you, sit down. Fuck these potatoes, bro. I don't know who told you needed potatoes. No one's. Look what it did to the Irish. Sit down and get a burger.
Well,
I think it saved them, didn't it?
No, the potato famine.
Wendy's. Wendy's does have the closest thing to like a sit-down restaurant burger that there is in fast food. The other burgers are fast food burgers, but Wendy's does have it's like a restaurant burger. Like if I was going to sit down at a fucking Red Robin, it would be very close to a burger.
Wait, when I was a kid and they had the commercials and they were specifying the shape of their patties, how they're square and all that stuff, and they were going all about it. I wondered how many different shapes Dave Thomas went through before he settled on the square patty.
Christmas tree.
Was there a trapezoid patty?
Well, I feel like the octagon would just be too. It just wouldn't look like food, Yeah, it's like a stop sign.
Welcome to UFC Burger. Step into the octagon. Roar!
I feel like that would sell.
It might.
I love it. Natasha says Wendy's original fries were great. Then the new ones with sea salt sucked, and now these ones are good again. All they did was went back to the old fries.
Yeah, Wendy's did have my favorite fries, and then I was like, "What the hell did they do?" And now they're back to the same ones. They are my favorite.
It's like new Coke all over again.
Yeah. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan's 45. Blake is 34. Of course, 11-year difference.
The age gap stops making a difference after 30, I think.
No.
Well, okay, here's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Who?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
That's how you pronounce it.
See the French Beyonce?
That's how you pronounce it, all right? Just because, everyone's been butchering her name for years. It's Beyonce.
Yeah, well, that's 12 years apart. Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, 39 and 29. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Ellen is there's a 15-year age difference. Portia's 48, Ellen's 60.
This is up because of you and Colleen.
Well, yeah. So anyway,
what is that age gap anyway?
Yeah. So, Gina,
by your real age, Andrew, not your Cedar Point age.
39 and 35. I'm 39. Her real age is 35. But no, I think ours is. Ours is
damn.
Ours is 52 and 33. What is it?
That was his ringtone. She's actually calling him.
You guys could hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your inside voice is loud.
52 and 33. So there was a girl yesterday that asked Colleen. She's like, what do you guys even have in common? Like, what do you talk about? Whatever. Oh, and I never understood that thing because, first off, a guy is always 10 years less mature than a girl. So 10 years is about where you should be just to be sane as a woman, because men are just 10 years less mature. So if you're 30, you need to be with a 40-year-old man, because the 40-year-old man is really like a maturity of a 30-year-old. So because men don't mature much past their teen years. But I guess my point after that was, what do you mean, what do you have in common? You can have conversations that are normal people would have. Hey, what do you think of vaccine? What do you think of life? What do you
right?
I don't
like we live in different worlds because of our age.
I know.
Like the world is different to me.
First,
but it kind of is.
We're not sitting there fucking talking about Model Ts all day.
That's what I'm saying. Is you guys don't have a share. People talk about it because you guys don't have a shared childhood experience. You guys don't have a shared pop culture.
But
I didn't share. I don't have shared experience with my kids. But I know. But I know
that's your kids. That's different.
That's why you're. Yeah. That's why you're making them watch dumbass shows. So
that's what I'm trying to say is. Andrew just made the point that nobody cares about the stuff that we liked 20, 30, 40 years ago. So we are living and experiencing the same world that someone 10 years younger than us is. And it's just, we can talk about it from our perspective. So what we have in common is the world around us.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. It doesn't. I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me.
But yeah,
I'm just thinking.
You're viewing the world as it is now from your experience in the past. So Andrew's experience in the past is 19 years ahead of where Colleen's is. So he contextualizes situations in a different way than she does because their experiences were different growing up based on the era they
But
grew
he
up in.
claims
Whoa,
all
whoa,
the childhoods,
whoa,
though.
whoa.
He claims all
That
of
is,
them.
yeah. That here's the thing.
Sure.
Like that line of thinking isn't just exclusive to the fact that he's older. You could say that about anybody who has different life experiences.
Right.
If I meet somebody if I'm 35 and I meet somebody who's 35 and I've grown up in the suburbs in a household with two parents, and the person that I meet has grown up in the city in a single parent household, they approach things from two totally different perspectives. So to say that because he's older than her is a flawed argument when everybody has different experiences.
Oh no, I agree with that to a point. But if they are both 35,
You can
they
agree
were both,
to it to all the points.
I agree with you. And like I said, I don't think the age difference matters much after 30. What I'm
Right.
saying is, though, if you're both 35, yeah, you could have grown up in the suburbs. They could have grown up in the city. You had a nice nuclear family. They had a single parent. Maybe they were an orphan. Whatever. You guys did have different life experiences growing up.
Way to throw in
But you guys-
orphan.
I'm just saying. But you guys did have different life experiences. But you also experienced the same world events at the same time. You both experienced similar pop culture things coming up at the same time. So you guys,
But
so
how you interpret those experiences are not the same. So just
Right.
because you happen to be around when it happened, you could look at it in two totally different ways. I could see it in a way where I'm like, wow, that was the best thing that's ever happened. And that person who I've run into could look at that event and be like, that was the thing that shook my life.
So I think you guys are both right, though, because
yeah,
we already, when we're dating people in our own age group, we already have the different life experiences. And so that's everybody across the board. But then when you add the 20-year age gap in, that just makes it so much. I mean, I'll agree. Andrew definitely has the maturity of somebody 20 years younger than him, for sure. Like that's 100%. He is Colleen's age mentally. He just had the 40s to more experience through there.
right.
The silent films and things of that nature.
You. Anyway,
that was back when everybody was a reader.
I remember talkies when
Andrew
it came out. I remember my first talkie.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when
First
color
talkie.
TV came
Is that
out?
what you
That
called
was huge.
talking television shows back then?
Yeah, it's a talkie.
Yeah, when it went from the silent films to then they went to the talkies.
Yeah.
He's like, I remember when I used to have to crank my phone.
Mhm.
I
part of a
remember
family- he was part
when
of-
they called.
Yeah, he was part of a family that called the TV a fad.
I remember when the Oscars came out and they were called the talkies. That was
My kids
great.
call Andrew Uncle Grandpa.
All right. Anyway, what else? I do want to talk about a couple things. First off, these kids today. Speaking of old, these kids today. So the kids are like, all right, well, this one I'm gonna wear to school tomorrow. I'm like, you guys need to go to bed. You gotta get up early. Well, yeah, but I'm just wearing some pajama pants and a sweatshirt. I'm like, dude, what? Put on some decent clothes. Like you buy.
That's what I did when I was in high school. Also,
I just don't get why you guys want to make yourself look ridiculous. This is the fashion. Well,
Because they don't want to be there.
out of the fashion. But I know, but it's like dress like you're around people. You're around people like dress.
People
Put
that
on
don't
a
want to be
pair of
around.
flats. Get off the Davenport.
a pair of fucking pants, or put on a
Who touched my fucking television? Who turned it? Who turned it off of CNN? You sons of bitches!
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
but you can't tell me you haven't noticed a difference between the way your kids choose to dress when it's somewhere they want to go versus it's somewhere they don't want to go.
I have one kid who never matches. Never. Like I'll be like, we're going somewhere nice. We're going somewhere decent. Put a decent outfit on. And she comes out. What did she wear the other day? These pumpkin, like fall leggings with this bright ass lemons all over her shirt, like non-matching, two different patterns. And I'm just like,
It's
That's
called
what
the
you're
Punky
wearing?
Brewster.
And I don't know. This wasn't Punky Brewster did cute, like it was purposeful non-matching. This was just looked like she had that picked up the nearest thing off the floor. But then I have another kid who dresses like all the way, up with the dress on and looks really, always dresses
A lot
really
of style.
nice. So, yeah.
Style.
So I mean, I do get it. There are times Bella is definitely cringy sometimes with the things that she wears, but I don't. I'm a very much pick your battle parent, and I am not fighting that. But I don't care. I don't care. You can mismatch everything on your body. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'll give you a heads up, and if you can decide what to do with the advice,
here's some information. Take it. Do what you want with it. I don't have time for that. I have other things I need to focus on right now.
I bought you clothes that match. Do what you will.
Right, exactly. I hope you make the right choice, but just do what you're gonna do. It's I don't know. I guess it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of that.
No,
yeah,
unless,
you can't fight every
unless
battle,
your kid
Andrew.
comes running in and goes, "How does this look with my gun?" Then you just let them walk out the door.
Yeah, as long as they're not running afoul of school dress code,
Right.
and getting sent home.
But it's sweats and
Pump your brakes, Ebenezer. Do not run afoul of the school dress code. Because if I have to be pulled into the instructor's office, yes, if I am summoned, then know that in my left hand I will have a switch, and in my right hand it shall be a Bible as I yell out scripture to you about willful children.
Well, my mom didn't care what trouble I got into. She only cared, when I wasn't in her presence, like when I was at school or something. She only cared when she got pulled into it.
Yeah, that's kind of my parenting style too. Is I really don't care a lot. If it affects my life, now we have an issue.
Exactly. No, at least, look at this kid. At least she dressed cute today. She looks cute. But the other ones are sweats and pajama pants every goddamn day.
That's how I dressed in high school too, because I like Tifo said, I didn't want to be there, so I just I every day I would wear just whatever inside out sweatshirts and shorts and that was like when I got older. Like when I was a little younger I cared, and then I just stopped caring and never looked back.
In fairness though, there's not much you can do. You're hideous. There's not much. I mean, it's just you might as well just give up. I mean,
see, that would work if we were on radio and we weren't doing like a side by side and people couldn't see your ugly ass next to me. Then it would be like, that's a great joke. But right now people are looking at this going, what the hell is he talking about?
I mean, with me, I could be a dedicated man of fashion and still look hideous. So,
all right. One last thing that I wanted to talk about before we go into.
Can I ask real quick, what the fuck is a dedicated man of fashion?
Ask the Kinks.
Oh, this guy I can't even get into this. Oh wait, there he is. I can't. This guy. There's this. So there was a post on a page. That you're scrolling through your news feed or whatever, and there's a post where the post is urgent. I have a 16-year-old Russian exchange student that needs a family ASAP. Her host family is dealing with an emergency family issue. And it says, contact me if you or someone you know can help. She is currently in an emergency backup family until I can find a new host family. Please don't, no hate comments. And then she's got her the website there of the organization. And, she says, I'm the director of the organization. And then, so it kind of intrigued me. So I'm just kind of reading along. I'm reading along. And then there's always the one, he's very Tifa-like. This guy named Jens Warren. Jen said, the family had an emergency. Probably someone realizing they are a foreign asset. It's like, what?
What?
This dude starts going off about how we're at war with Russia, and I have nothing against immigration. Russia is a hostile foreign nation who is actively trying to create division in this country after installing a single-term failed loser president who's trying to create his own social network for spying. I'll pass on the child. Like, Dude, first off,
Wow.
slow the fuck down. What the?
So did you bring this up because he reminded you of Tifo? Is that why?
No, that's full on conspiracy nutter territory there. That's not me at all.
I know. But I said, hey, I don't know if you're really an asshole or just playing an asshole on Facebook. But bro, she's 16. She's not trying to infiltrate a family in Russia, a family in Sylvania to report back to Putin. I said
I don't know. They train those spies pretty young.
Hey, Vlad, I am in the Smith family in Sylvania. I am going to report everything.
Tomorrow they are taking me to Applebee's.
More updates tomorrow.
However, I do have some questions about them claiming to be Tree City. I am counting, and we'll get back to you when counting done.
All right, I gotta go, guys.
Bye. Like so, this dude was so over the top, and I mean, I don't know. He was just. I'm like, dude, bro, you got to stop watching too much television. Or he's like, we are at war with them. Don't you understand? And then he goes, whenever you complain, you're not a tinfoil hat guy. You are definitely a tinfoil hat guy, which this dude was totally.
Especially when you bring it up unprompted. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
I know that's what I mean. Those are always the guys that, okay, Junior, settle down. All right. Anyway, let's get into the WTF news, ladies and gentlemen. Ebenezer Bushrod.
So a follow-up from a story from last year. That's right.
I thought you were going to say last week. I said, good luck topping last week.
Yeah. No, I can't top last week. Last week ended perfectly. No, so a follow-up from a story last week. You remember we talked about the Saudi Arabia's month-long and very popular King Abdulaziz Camel Festival. On there, where they had some disqualifications because people were using cosmetic alterations on their camels for the beauty pageant. Well, judges this year have been cracking down on this and using special technology to detect these alterations. This year, they discovered dozens of breeders had stretched out the lips and noses of camels, used hormones to boost the breast muscle, injected camels' heads and lips with Botox to make them bigger, inflated body parts with rubber bands, and used fillers to relax their faces on there, all so that they could win the camel beauty pageant.
It is not. I don't think anybody was aware of this or had kept up with the genetic accomplishments of the camel scientists throughout the world. But they had created a brand new species of camel called Kardashian camel, and the lips are fuller, the humps are bigger. They're attracted to darker camels.
I think we need to.
Well, there's a reason they're
like
cheap.
wrapping any kind of wrapping camel or professional athletic camel. They love those.
The more athletic camels. Look at Donnie's laughing so hard that he.
So the reason why these new measures have had to come into place is because the top prize for the beauty contest has reached $66 million.
Whoa! For a camel?
Wow.
So if you think you've got a beautiful camel, Saudi Arabia is the place for you.
Wow. Well, I think it's really sad what they're doing to these camels. I think we need to start a commercial where you adopt them and in the arms of
yeah.
These camels,
they're camels.
Stretch.
Oh, I thought you said Camel Toe Festival. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! I can't believe the filler she used in her lips. God,
RuPaul's Camel Show.
Looks like she's smuggling balloon animals into the country. It is.
Looks like she has 4 legs.
There are camels all over the world just trying to get to America because they talk to each other. They're like, there's a camel there. Then his job is just yell about Wednesday. That's his job. That's his gig.
And he gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah, he gets paid a lot of money. I gotta run through the sand, carry a guy with a sword,
and this asshole whipping me. All I gotta do is hump day.
In Saudi Arabia, they're making all these efforts to make their camels beautiful, and we just make our smoked cigarettes. It's a very strange, different culture we have going on.
Which is hot. I mean, have you seen the camel smoking a cigarette? It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you look at it real close. You put your hand over the face. It was like, I'll tell you, it looks like lady parts that smoke.
Have you guys seen the monkey that's on the internet that smokes, that's addicted to cigarettes? He's like, you haven't seen that?
Can you imagine how hard that monkey's life is, that he just comes back and picks up a smoke and just sits. He's like, oh my God. So let me tell you, kid tried to hand me, I thought it was a banana. It was a fucking plantain. They looked so much the same. What the shit?
He's probably the shift manager at Monkey Wendy's.
I had to fling, or is it flung? I had to flung so much poop today.
Do you know how much food you got to eat the day before to make sure you got enough poop for the day tomorrow? Do you know, prepping is a bitch.
Our flung poop is guaranteed fresh.
He's so stressed, he's using one cigarette to light a new one. Look at,
he's chain smoking. What's going on?
So, all right. So moving on. We've also have some news out of San Francisco. The San Francisco City Council has recently suspended the cannabis business tax so that they can compete with local drug dealers. See, the local drug dealers don't have to pay the taxes, so they're able to pass off the marijuana at a cheaper cost to the consumer, making them the more attractive option. And so the city council has decided to temporarily suspend the business tax so that they can lower their prices and compete with the corner drug dealer.
All right.
There. So I just thought that was fun. I just thought that was funny myself. But in other news, they have found a very stimulating treatment for Alzheimer's, Viagra. In a recent study, Pfizer has found that Viagra helps in regulating the proteins in the brain that kind of go crazy and work together to cause the disease.
They say that a lot of drugs are found because they're really used for other things. And it's like I don't like it's would be a hard job. It's like, how do you find out what works where? Like, here, take this. We're gonna see what fixes on you.
Viagra,
what happened
was originally a blood pressure medication.
Yeah. See, there you go. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah. So some old guy took Viagra to have some fun and ended up finding his keys.
Exactly.
So they
wouldn't it suck if that really was the case? Like Viagra just pushed Alzheimer's into a different head, and it was just like now you just got a very forgetful dick, and that could get you into worse trouble than I'm almost positive your wife would prefer you just forget your name than stick your penis in random vagina because it couldn't remember.
Well, I tried that one when I got caught once straying years ago when I was younger, and I said, "Oh, stop! My penis has dementia." It was not my fault.
Yeah. My penis has dementia, or I was bitten by a snake. Which one do you believe?
Yeah.
She's just trying to save my life.
We all already went through that during the awkward teenage years where you just pop up every now and then, like you're in the middle of class listening to a lecture on the Crusades, and then all of a sudden he just comes out to play.
Crusades are hot.
First of all, let me just tell you real quick, that just doesn't happen in your teenage years. That is the worst shit. I'm like, you are 49 years old, Dick. You know what's around here. Go back to sleep. What the fuck? You've seen all this shit before. You know, gas price.
Sexy. What are you doing?
You have life experience.
Yeah, I'm like, gas is $3.20 a gallon. Go back to sleep.
So they found patients after a 6-year follow-up, patients that were taking the Viagra were 69% less likely to develop the neurodegenerative disease.
That's seriously some really good news. Obviously, you guys.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to start taking that for our mental health and talk about some great side effects.
It's just gonna be another thing you gotta explain. When you're out in public, like when you cough, you're like, oh no, allergies, not COVID. Or hey, I smoke weed. Don't freak out. It's just a weed cough. Now you're walking around. You're like, why are you coughing? And your penis is hard. I got memory issues, and which could be attributed to the weed cough.
And
I'm just trying to stay sharp.
It's pointing me in the right direction.
I know.
Both sides.
All right, that is.
No, we got one. We got one more. We got one.
Everybody.
We got one more.
Oh, sorry.
We got one more out of Gloucester, England. On there, a man was recently showed up to the emergency room of the Gloucester Royal Hospital, and the bomb squad had to be called because he had a 57 millimeter World War II shell that was fired from an anti-tank gun stuck up his rectum. He is a
now the way you said that was like, I think there was a long period of time between those two occurrences. Like, I don't think it was fired from the tank into his rectum.
No.
That would be some kinky shit right there.
No, he is a military equipment.
You know how fortunate you would have to be at the exact point where that shell would have decelerated and just lodged itself in your ass, where it just was like bloop.
It didn't blow right through you.
Yeah.
Uncle Wallace just saved all of our lives.
Luckily, I was 101 yards away, because if I was 100 yards, it would still be full speed. It just started to lose speed enough to where it got in, but it didn't blow a hole right through me.
You told me that practicing these Kegels with your Aunt Karen would come to no end.
So he's a military equipment collector.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
You should wait. You should see what else is in there.
So, yes, he is.
Now, his claim was that he had placed the shell on the ground, then slipped and fell onto the shell.
If I had a dime for every time I slipped and sat on a military grade tank shell, I would have 6 dimes.
The hospital staff were able to determine before the bomb squad showed up that it wasn't a live round. They were able to remove it before the bomb squad came to retrieve it.
Hold on. The bomb squad determined it was not a live round, but it was a live party.
Right. There was a party in that emergency room. They're like, try not to enjoy this too much.
I just wonder how much side eye he got from the nursing staff with the whole "I just fell on it" story.
Yeah, right.
Who knows? They might have been asking for him for his card.
Like I feel like emergency rooms are sick of hearing that excuse. Like, just be honest with us. You got kinky. We're okay with it. We're still gonna help you.
Dude,
right. He made that
whole emergency room office's day.
Do you need to know how it happened? If you're a doctor, right? And I walk in and I got an unexploded shell in my ass. You don't need to know the backstory.
Right.
You know it shouldn't be there, right?
I think what happens is, though, you start telling the backstory and the doctor's like, you don't have to do this.
I don't need to know.
That's
I don't need to know.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I totally fell on it, and then the doctor looks at you, will then explain the petroleum jelly. It just turns into a whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that what he says? He's like, well, I found fault with your story.
It protects the
jelly.
It protects the casing.
Explain how. Well, I'm a collector, and I just wanted to make it pristine. Like, shut the fuck up. Get it out. We didn't have this conversation when you took the puppy out of there. Just fucking get it out.
While you're up there, there's some figurines I haven't been able to locate. You see,
I haven't found my G.I. Joe in a while. It could be.
Hold on, is that Kung Fu Grip? Oh God, hold on.
which I found was very offensive because I took kung fu and nobody grips things like that. I would think it's more of a penis grip. Nobody wanted to say that.
I don't think in 2021, I don't think G.I. Joe can have a kung fu grip. Like that sounds offensive to me now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's like
right now.
G.I. Joe, not with Chinese grip.
I don't know. It's bad.
Well, the Chinese are renowned for their grip.
They are?
Now with advanced self-defense training hand.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tifel. That is WTF News, Ebenezer Bushrod. All right, couple things. We do have a big show that we're going to make the announcement today. We'll give it to you guys first, Natasha, and we're going to give it to you, Josh, first, and Connie, and everyone else watching. We're doing a New Year's Eve extravaganza at the docks. So you get to ring in New Year on the Maumee River at the most the creme de la creme of locations here in Toledo, which is at the docks. Hamburger Mary's, we're doing a New Year's Eve show. Demetrius and Tifel and Corey W. King and Charlie Mack from 107.3 The Juice are gonna be doing a big show. I know we're gonna miss Donnie. We want Donnie.
I'll be there in spirit.
In spirit. Tickets will go on sale today. So if you guys want to get tickets for the show, and it's gonna be dancing afterwards. So I'll be spinning the Wigga Wiggas. Like it's me and Holly Z are going to be spinning the tunes from 11 p.m. and bringing in the new year. So it's gonna be fun. We'll do comedy at 9. Dancing started at 11.
Doesn't Holly Z get deported back to the North Pole the day after Christmas?
Oh, you're right.
No, she's got a couple weeks off. She's got a break.
She's here on a work visa. It's very specific dates.
So come on out, get your tickets. You'll find out more information. If you need more information, just go to the Facebook page and we will have it for you there a little bit later on. All right. If you need insurance, Demetrius Nicodemus is your insurance guy. He works with 1 billion insurance agencies to make sure he will save you money. The great thing is, look, there's no downside. You go to him and he either saves you money or else you stay with what you got, but he does all the work. So there's no downside. If he doesn't save you money, then you got to have a good conversation with a great dude. So, I mean, it's really a win-win. Yeah. So, and of course, Donnie P, if you want a car, Donnie P is your man.
We have cars.
Yeah, they have cars. Taylor has cars. Go see Donnie on the Central Avenue Strip. He owns the place now. I forgot to tell you guys.
I like how the selling point for car dealerships has changed over the years to now. Hey, we have cars now. Come.
We've got 3 trucks this week, and the last 2 I didn't even cry when I saw them. How many cars we have?
Wow. Come here,
out of happiness.
Girls, you want to show off your pajama pants and t-shirts? No, I didn't think so. Jesus.
Yeah, because that's what all teenage girls want to do is they want to be on camera for random people.
Here's the attire right there. That's for school. It's not lounging around the house. That's not Saturday.
That is high fashion.
Yeah, that's the high fashion in the high school.
You know, if that was a poster, it would just say "fuck it." like that's all. It would just be like, whatever.
They did want me to say it's plaid day. That's why they're wearing pajama pants. It's plaid day at school today.
Oh, all right.
It's plaid day.
Plaid day. It's Holiday Spirit Week, and today is plaid day. So
all right.
Thank you, ladies. They'll be invading Perrysburg High School momentarily in about an hour. All right, you guys. That's it. We're out of here. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!